got a very special guest today. It's been a while. I've been trying to get exotic specialists on the show, and I finally got one. And he's a young guy at Northstar Vets, our friends at Northstar Vets, Dr. Matt Grootenboer. Matt, thanks so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So you said you're a New Jersey native, right? Yeah. So why don't you tell the listening audience just, typically, how did you get into veterinary medicine? What's your story like? And how did life lead you towards exotics?
So I think I was kind of destined for it. I think a lot of people would tell you that. It's kind of a cliche story at this point, but I did have a lot of pets growing up, and my parents tell me the cat that I don't have a lot of memory of at this point, but like the cat that they had when I was growing up used to sleep in my crib and everything, so we were good friends, and then we got our first family dog when I was like 10 or 11, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And so when the family cat started to get older and inevitably passed away, I was very confused by that whole process, and I just wanted to, try to not let that happen anymore to any of my pets or anyone else's pets. So I think it was like 10, 11, 12 when I decided I wanted to be a vet, kind of idealistically. And then my parents did me a big favor and kind of pushed me into shadowing our local vet, the one who took care of our dogs and cats. That was pretty good. I got some good experience there at a tiny clinic. But I kind of realized that dog and cat medicine wasn't going to be my passion. I always liked Steve Irwin and watching all the nature documentaries, and his stuff on TV was great. And I was really sad when we lost him. But then I also started working at Six Flags Great Adventure because they had a safari over there.
Okay.
My parents, again, kind of pushed me into that, so I thank them. And they knew I wanted to be a vet, so they let me shadow their doctors. Mostly I was working with like the animal trainers and getting a feel for how behavior works with these guys. And I really spurred it. Took some elective classes in vet school at UPenn, and then it was off from there. Did my dog and cat small animal rotating internship up in North Jersey at Oradell.
Oradell, yep.
And then I knew I had to do exotics, so I ended up down in Florida for a specialty internship there.
That's great. Like, so did you, let me get specific about certain things. So, out of curiosity, what do your parents do?
In water treatment for New Jersey American Water, I guess is the company's name now.
Yeah.
And my mom worked in like real estate for a while. She did some mortgage work, and she's retired now. So, no, neither of them have a medical background.
So is there another sort of medical person in your family tree?
No, not even.
No, that's
not
awesome.
really. Yeah, I didn't realize that. But the other thing that they helped me decide was I went to a specialty high school in Neptune, New Jersey. Monmouth County has like a bunch of vocational schools, and so one of them was for kids who knew they wanted to do medicine, whether that was human or animal. So that was fun. But no, they really didn't have any experience to draw from there.
And so let me ask specifics. Did you get in on your first shot for vet school?
I did. Yeah. I worked pretty hard leading up to it. Ironically, my grades were better before vet school than in vet school. But no, it was a good first go. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And then you got your pick for internship or residency. It was how did that work out?
Internship was first pick as well. Yeah. So I really lucked out. I'm thankful for that. But it was kind of a no-brainer to go to Oradell because it wasn't too far away, and I knew I had gone to college up in Bergen County too, so I was very familiar. I had some family up there.
Yeah, I only know one vet there, Heather Schroyer.
Yeah. She was great.
Yeah.
We rotated through the specialties, but we did have our GP time, so I got to know her.
Yeah, she's been on the show. Her best quote was, we were talking about vaccines, and we were talking about not finishing the series. Her analogy was like, that's like peeing in the ocean. You don't finish the series.
Why even do it?
No, that's great. That's great. So you had a lot of family support. Go to where you want to go. Yeah, you keyed on some huge things. Florida is the exotic place.
Yeah.
And then was it the desire to come back home that you're now practicing in New Jersey, or did you have different offers elsewhere?
Well, I was wrapping it up down in Florida, and one of my intern mates from my Oradell year actually stayed in New Jersey. Well, no, he went down to Tennessee to do a surgical internship, but then he was coming back up to Northstar, to interview for an emergency physician. And so he was taking his tour, and Joan, the administrator, showed him the exotics ward, and she's like, well, we have one doctor at the moment. We used to have two. We could definitely use another if we know anybody. And then he reached out to me. I called Joan, set up an interview, flew back for like Christmas, and saw them for one day. It worked out. It was,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. So it's funny when you talk about your desire to become a vet. So it was really deep down in you at a very young age. You don't really have a memory.
Not
Other than-
vividly of like the moment that I decided. I know the circumstances of it. Like I remember going to the vet to put our cat down. I know which building it was. I still pass it like when I go home, and it's a little weird because I've never actually been inside since then. And I actually even have talked to the vet who works there now. And she's like, come and visit us. And I'm like, I kind of want to, but for some reason that building like brings back weird memories to me. Because that it hit me hard to lose that cat. We buried her in the backyard. We have a tree where we buried all our pets, and she was the first one we chose to use that tree for. So like that really drove me to it.
It's funny, Matt, that your story is 98% of the vets I have on the show have that desire to become a vet at a very young age. One surgeon I know, he said he's got a video, his parents have a video of him less than 4 years old saying he wants to become a veterinarian. And I think that is so cool, right?
You know what it is, I think too, is I didn't really know, I wanted to work with animals, that much I knew, and I didn't know what other jobs with animals there were besides veterinarian when I was that little. Like, all right, well that's obviously the pinnacle. And then I realized I did like medicine and science a lot, so the combination of all those things.
That's great.